Hey everybody, and welcome to Pumpkin's Nail Station. Thank you so much for stopping by, everyone, and if you're new and you do enjoy this content, hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free and there's no commitments. If ever you change your mind, it's cool. I hope you stay. So if you don't mind, if you do enjoy it, hit the subscribe button, the like, and leave a comment if you've got a little bit of spare time. And yeah, I'm just going to post 2 comments now from some of these beautiful commenters that have left a comment just to show some appreciation to you lovely people. And even if you don't get a time to comment, it's fine. I appreciate you just for being here. So today we've got a nail steamer. I've got it out of the box, but this is the box here. It's hard to show it you because the camera's so close. I'll have to probably just put a picture of it up or something. It's just a nail steamer anyway, so I'll pop a picture up of it. It's from Amazon. So you get this base thing here and you turn it on and off just here, so that's where it goes on and off, and that'll tell you when it is it's got 3 settings, but let me see what they're for because I can't remember off the top of my head. I can't find the instructions. So turn on the switch to heat. When the steam is green, put your fingers into the holes ready to steam off. See the pictures below, and after 10 minutes remove it. That's all it really says. So we'll have to see what those lights are for because I can't remember. You get a bunch of these spare covers. I think you get them just here. And you get 2 of these, which are your acetone fill-up trays. So you get 5 of those. You get 1 that comes on it and you get 4 spare. It's got a UK plug as well and a lid which you put on when you're not using it, I suppose, or when it's warming up. So we're going to leave it switched off for the minute and we're going to pop some acetone in because we're going to be soaking off my birthday press-ons. Sad times, I know, they're going. So we're going to go, where's the measuring line? There it is. So I think I'm just going to go somewhere in the middle, right there or something. So that's probably about 40 mil, something like that. And then I'm going to pop this on. So I have to get it lined up so it will sit on there. I just need to figure out how to get this on. So it should slip down on it somewhere. Come on. Okay, so that's that. And then you sort of twist it backwards to lock it in place. Then I'm just going to sit it like this. It's because that cable is stuck in my leg. You drop down that way. I'm just going to make sure it's plugged in and we're going to turn it on. And we're going to let it heat up. At the minute it's on the red, and I think the middle one is the green one, and the end one will tell you when the steam has finished. So while that is warming up, I'm just going to buff these nails down. So I'm just going to go and get a file. Just give me a sec. So I've just got these, I've got these new files which I got from Amazon. So you get a bunch of all different ones. I've already took one out of the packaging, the 100 and 180, because they're wrapped up like in a plastic cover, which is cool, and you get a cuticle pusher and some other tools in there. I'm going to pop them into a haul anyway, but I'll pop the link into the description box. So I'm just going to show you one nail. I'm literally just going to buff off the top coat because that's what it recommends that you do, or you could use an e-file if you've got one. I'm just buffing all that off. Okay, so I'm just going to do the rest of this off the camera and then I'm going to come back. And I'm only just scratching off the surface, so it's easier to soak off, and we're going to give it a go. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so it's just beeped, it's gone green. So I'm just going to put my hand in this. I'm just trying to get it. It's tucked underneath my foot. Cable. I need to sort my desk out better. Okay, so it's just flipped onto green, and now I'm going to pop my nails in here like this and just sit here like this for 10 minutes until the light along here goes, it beeps again, and then I'll take them out and we'll take a look at them. And it does feel kind of hot in here, like warm, like the acetone warms up. So the tips I'm using are a softer tip. They're like a soft, flexible, like, they are plastic, but they act more like gel when you soak them off, because they're like a different kind of plastic. So they don't go white when you bend them, so they're a lot softer, so they will soak off just like gel. They're quite flexible and soft. So, and I'm using gel polish as well, so that's all that's on there. So this should soak off quite easy, and it's not expensive either. And I've seen people soaking off acrylic nails with these, but I would recommend cutting them down like fairly short, you know, like as short as you can get it, so you're not cutting off your natural nail underneath if you don't want to cut that. And yeah, and just make sure you've got everything off that needs to come off. Like I've got a stone I forgot to take off, so yeah. So I'm just going to soak this now and probably come back, 'cause it's a little bit boring, and I might show you the nails like every couple of minutes or something like that, I don't know, or I might not take them out. So I'll come back in a minute. Okay, so this is where we are after 10 minutes. You can see the tips are softening there. You see the tips are softening and loosening up. So I'm going to see what polish we can get off, and I have just turned it on again. I'm just going to see what we can get off here and see where we go. So I'm just going to try that and see what happens. So I think I'm just going to pop these back in again, like for another 10 minutes, and then I'll come back. But this is very hot, but I would say this is what it's looking like after a couple more minutes. I'm just sort of bobbing my fingers like that, so they're all getting in the water. I'm just sort of moving my fingers around, making sure that these ones are getting in there as well this time, and they're all getting, you know, a dip in the acetone. Like I'm just sort of moving my fingers like that, because I've got really small fingers. If you've got longer hands, then you might find this a bit easier. But if I was doing my thumb, you would have to sort of do it like, you know, wiggle your fingers around and make sure they're all getting some acetone on them. But it started to cool down now after the second beep, but you will feel it bubbling, and it may get a little bit hot, but you can just lift your fingers up like that and touch the top of that if it does, and then just wiggle your fingers around, and it doesn't hurt, it doesn't burn you then, but it does get a little bit hot in here. But you can just sort of maybe take your fingers out and have a steamed effect, but I'm dipping them in the acetone as well. It started to cool down now. So let's take them out. It probably got about 5 minutes then, because it was on while I was messing around. So let's try to get this off. Yeah, see, that's all the nail tip there. It's so cool. Okay, so it just took literally a couple of minutes in a bit more acetone to remove all of that. It doesn't look great at the minute, but I've e-filed these down to this and we're going to stick them in here now. Ooh, that's hot. So yeah, I'm just going to soak these in here and then I'm going to come back and we're just going to see which way was quicker. Not filing it or filing it. I think I know which way it's going to go, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll let you know in about 5 minutes when we've had a look at these. Okay, so these have been in here for about 5 minutes or something like that. I'm just going to give them a couple more minutes because it's cooling down, just to make sure. I do have to really push my thumb into this and my pinky to make it reach the acetone, and I did have to top it up to do this hand, but I do think that e-filing them down a bit first, you know, down to just the polish, will be a much faster way to remove these nails. I think it's the way I will choose from now on, just to e-file the gel polish off and then lift all this off with this. A bit more trickier for me to use my left hand, but it is what it is, right? Stick it back in here and we're just going to see what happens now. So I'm just going to turn it off and back on again for another couple of minutes or something like that, maybe 2 to 3 minutes or something like that, and then I'm hoping that that should be enough, and then I'm going to go and wash my hands and get a fine buffer, buff them all down, and then add some cuticle oil and some cream for now, and then I might film one of those glove treatments that I've really got into using at the moment. Okay, so we're just gonna see where we are with this. So it's been like another 5 minutes or so. Yeah, look, he's lifted it off. Yeah, so that's come off. So yeah, that's come off. So this way is a lot faster, I think. And it's better to just put it back in than force off something, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't recommend you just forcing off something and over filing your nail. I'm just working on these little bits where there's a bit of product there. Okay. Okay, so I think that's about it. So I'm just going to turn that off. Okay, so that's it. So they look fine to me. Everything looks really, really nice. So I think I'm going to use this really nice cuticle oil that I've got. I've got a really fancy. I'm going to be all fancy because this one is from Amazon, but it's about £15. But it's 100% organic, and the company only uses sustainable, renewable energy in their factories and their manufacturing, and all of their packaging is able to be recycled or reused, and it's made from recycled packaging. And they're cruelty free, vegan, and this smells like really like herby, if you know what I'm saying, but it absorbs so nice, and it's such a good nice oil, you know, for your nails if they're feeling a bit dry, and it absorbs so nice. So I just felt like being a bit fancy or giving them, you know, a good nice treatment. I'm going to do that, rub it into my hands as well. They've been in the acetone, but you can see my skin doesn't look that bad. You could put some oil on before you put your hands into, you know, something like this. I'm just really making sure they've got a good amount on them, because I'm just going to sit now and just let this soak into my hands before I do anything. And then I'm probably going to do one of those treatment gloves later, and then if there is anything else on here, the oil will just sort of pull it off. See here, I should have wore gloves, because there's little bits of like the gel that's kind of stuck to my skin a bit, but it will come off. You know, the more you wash your hands and stuff like that, it'll come away. I'm just being a bit extra here. But it's just bits of the gel tip and stuff like that, but they look fine to me. They look fine to me. So yeah, so that's the end of this video. So it did work. I think the fastest way, like we all agreed, was to e-file off. I just used one of these bits. My e-file's a bit dusty. Just let me wipe it a little bit at least before I show it to you. I just used one of these bits which I got from AliExpress. I've had this one a while and it's a bit dirty now because some of the gel was a bit soft, because I gave some of the other side just a little bit where it was a bit thicker, so that needs to be soaked clean. And this is the e-file that I used. It's just the Bell, what's it called? It's a wine glass shape, I think. I was a bit lazy as well and didn't get my dust collector out, did it over the bin, that's why the thing's filthy. So that's what it is there. Really nice e-file, really love that. I use that all the time. And the files were from Amazon. I'll link them down below. You got a couple of 100, 180s, 150s and one even lower than that. I think the lower the numbers, the more coarse it is. So it has got some really coarse files in there as well, and a few tools. So I'll link it down below in case anybody wants to see it, but it is going to go in a haul anyway. So yeah, so that is that. So I think I'm also going to put on some hand cream, which one of my good friends Sammy sent me as part of my birthday package. And yeah, my hands need some love right now because they've been in some acetone for a long time. So I'm going to say goodbye to you all. I'll link the steamer in the description box with the files, even the cuticle oil, in case anybody was interested in seeing what it was. So that is it. So thanks for watching. Bye.